All right, so the main question you should be asking yourself is, what is an adjustment? What is an adjustment? What makes an adjustment from a chiropractor different than an adjustment from my DO or a physical therapist or massage therapist that tried it for the weekend? An adjustment specifically states this, is that if there's a joint out of alignment that puts pressure on a nerve that affects function, is what the adjustment reduces to bring back to normal. So just popping your neck or making the cracking sounds is not really an adjustment. We call that a manipulation. And basically you're getting what's called cavitation. You're just releasing gas out of the joints. You're not really correcting and taking the pressure off the nerve. Most of you don't know this, but it's a fascinating story how chiropractic started. Chiropractic was started in 1895 by Dr. D.D. Palmer. And D.D. Palmer, he has an unbelievable history, but I'll just get right to the point with it. He had a janitor who worked for him. And his janitor had lost the hearing in his ear. And D.D. Palmer put him down on the table and he palpated on the spine, and he found a spot in his neck where it just didn't match up symmetrically with the other parts of his spine. And when he started moving it, he noticed it didn't move the same way as the other parts of his spine. So he delivered the first chiropractic adjustment in 1995, and Harvard literally got his hearing back. That's the first chiropractic adjustment, was for deaf people. Well, not for deaf people, but so much for people who couldn't hear. So he actually thought he had a cure for people who had deafness. So he started attracting other people who couldn't hear. Some people were getting no results, other people were getting somewhat better.
I can say that with my very first adjustment, I had a neck injury and also a low back injury. My very first adjustment, on the way home in the car, I could actually hear better. I was losing my hearing at the time, and I could actually hear better. It sounded like, when you hold up a seashell to your ear and you hear the sound of the ocean. That's how I could feel and hear the circulation coming back. It was pretty awesome.
How did that make?
But one of his patients also had a heart condition. His heart condition got better. So now he thought he had a therapy that fixed people who couldn't hear out of the ear and people who had a heart condition. Turns out another person had a kidney problem, another person had kidney. Before you knew it, or before he knew it, he started seeing that there was just a multitude array of problems that were getting fixed by chiropractic. So the reason why chiropractic works is this: the adjustment relieves the pressure off the nerve. Now the way a nerve works is like this. It's just like an apple hanging on a tree. If an apple is connected to the vine to the tree, the apple stays strong, it stays healthy, it stays nourished. But if I snap the apple right off the tree, it's only going to take a little bit of a while before just the forces of nature start to break that apple down. It's no longer connected to a source. It no longer has a source of power that makes that apple stay whole and healthy. Now, if I just take where that vine is going and I squeeze that vine, now what happens to the apple over time? It'll still live, but it may not grow to its fullest potential. It may start to wilt on one side. It's going to lose some of the energy and that direct flow that keeps a healthy apple nourished. So in a sense, the way that happens is the same thing in your spinal cord. Your nervous system is your immune system. Your immune system is not something else. You can look this up in Gray's Anatomy. Any medical textbook will clearly state that the nervous system is the immune system. Now, Dr. Punjabi and White are world-famous researchers, PhD. They do a lot of researches for orthopedics and neurology, and they found that the weight of a dime on a nerve is all it takes for it to lose its function. So now, if we look back to those videos before where we actually had started losing some of the curve in the neck, now that's a lot more than the weight of the dime on the spinal cord, or certainly part of the spinal nerves that come out of the spinal cord. So where those nerves go to, you start to have dysfunction. So if I'm pinching the nerve off that comes out of my neck that goes to my fingers, I'm going to probably feel some tingling. If I pinch the nerve off, let's say, that goes to my stomach, then I'm going to probably get some stomach problems. If I pinch the nerve off that lets go, say, over the back of my head, I'm going to probably start to get some headaches. So what the whole goal of the adjustment is to do is to identify those areas which we call subluxations and reduce the subluxation with the adjustment. And that's it. There's no magic to that. The magic comes to what's actually inside of you, your body's ability to heal itself. You can go Google self-healing or body healing, and you will see thousands of stories of people who's miraculously recovered because they just allowed their body to do what it needs to do. Your body has every drug and chemical that you could possibly ever imagine or need right inside of it. We just need to give it the environment for it to work in. That's the question for today. So if you have any questions or want to get more in detail, just shoot me an email. Thanks.